It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
If he remembering that dude, that ain't me.
No, you remember.
Nah, it's my turn.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Blood clotting increases how much you will time. So, the higher the blood clotting, the more SP you get. Plus, I want to mesmerize Clay.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Press S and embrace Clay clocks. Embracing Clay will provide you a massive SP boost, but aware that there will be consequences. Only more bots in the system collected their hints will increase the experience gain.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
What happened? Whoa, I think...
Don't worry, I'm gonna smoke you later.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
Thank you.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
If you could point me in the direction...
Second floor.
What kind
I
of
knew
man
already.
is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Now it's time to go make my rounds.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett's, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Nah, snap.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
My bad.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve. But I must admit, he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbetts. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Local investigation. New citizen investigation is available. Press the middle button to open the local investigation. Citizen investigation are displayed here, categorized by districts. You can start a new citizen by tracking it.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Doctor.
Stuff is more expensive in this version of the game.
Last time I was epidemic.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon.
She don't want to talk to me.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
It is.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Go to sleep then.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Oh, so she ain't no snitch, huh?
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Bless you, done.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Let's talk to the view.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met THELMA HOWCROFT.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Okay, somebody's kinda nuts.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
In this day and age, people would be like, okay, what would your pronouns be?
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't...
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Okay, somebody's
I'm
upset.
assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Okay.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Good to know.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Alrighty then.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Cat.
I'll leave you, Mistress.
To your nocturnal activities. Nah, you gonna stay in here, so I want to talk to you first, because you gonna walk around.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, Nobody was spared.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
That's not what I thought. He seemed pretty chatty to me.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Pretty chatty to me. Your turn.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Okay, creep bro.
How close are you to Miss HOWCROFT? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. Frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
I got anything more to say to you?
Good evening,
I need blood.
Yeah.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Miss...
Hold on. I got some more info on you.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
Do I not? Yeah, I do.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Goodbye, Milton.
But I think I got something new to say to... Is she out here? Or is she inside?
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
You tried to smoke yourself. You didn't see me. Oh, excuse me. Hey, buddy boy.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, my friend.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss HOWCROFT.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just another trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Was he now?
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
He funny.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Luke Digby.
Wake me up like a normal person.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Wow.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Yeah, I think we can just switch.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her in Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process here. We're not just beggars.
The preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, the touch is dead. She left the doctor many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhausted, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness.
He wowed it.
Empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea
Tag
is
you
well
in it.
versed in blood transfusion.
I'm gonna
and
tag
I'm
you
sure
in it.
he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back back to the people who need me.
But I guess it's that time of the month. Don't you worry, baby, I won't run.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Monster you become. I love you, baby.
The fact that he really, she do not like him. She is blue and sure. He was waking her up for work. He said, "You're late for work."
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverley ACKROYD. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. ACKROYD?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Oh! I thought she was gonna beat him.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. ACKROYD, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't approve of it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, because I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Ooh.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I...
look how he just started this recipe.
Expressing interest.
Hold that butter.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity.
That it better be a lot. I'm talking about it. The whole it better be like 150 strippers now.
Spoons of cayenne pepper.
No, I want to see those prices.
Lemon pepper. 1 spoon of salt. 3 spoons of Louisiana hot sauce.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your
Oh,
skills,
okay.
Dr. Reed.
I was about to say.
Money,
What exactly is that?
I can sing like that for a little bit. I want to get you a couple of words before my voice cracks.
I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. ACKROYD.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Wait, what's that?
That'll piss me off. Don't do that.
I do shit like that.
You do that already. Don't do that.
I ain't never did it to that. Hey, watch you really fly. You be wearing your seatbelt all the time, so you be fine.
Sometimes I do. That's not funny. Mother, don't do that for real.
This is ridiculous.
You gonna
My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see, that is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as
At least the straw ain't go down her throat. That's that venti ice bullshit they be getting.
Agree on something.
She ain't doing nothing but drinking ice. You're late for school.
Thank you for your time.
Told you I can. At least hold the note though.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr.
I wake up before you all the time anyway.
I don't know if a third opinion is needed.
One time out of how many times I go to work Monday through Friday every day, 6 to 2.
I'm Harvey Finney.
I bet you was.
All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed.
And when I woke up to go to work, you was asleep.
I was up painting.
No.
You would have sleep. I was painting in the kitchen. I said, hey, then you like, I'm
I ain't no attitude. I'm just going to work.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Show me your hands.
He put something on them so he can see their hand. When they touch the bag, you see their hands with the black light.
Clean.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about you.
Do you eat my chips?
Strickland and ACKROYD.
No.
They both want the best for me.
Oh, yeah?
There's a lot of pride
Okay,
there.
well, look at this.
Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had
See
professional
all
arguments
that?
with rivals on a building site.
Show me
Difference
your
is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured.
Tell me anything.
And them not
Forgive
even,
my
okay,
words.
those good.
Oh,
But
really?
you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I
I
got something
won't
to show
lie
you.
to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take
But why would he put the bag back, though? Did he put the bag back?
They threw it away. He set the bag up so he was gonna eat it later, but he knew they was gonna, cause apparently they must do it often.
You better not do that shit to me.
So then, I mean, I know if I don't eat it, you ate it. Like I don't need to do that stuff. Really?
Yes.
That's not an excuse.
Yes, it is.
Gohan is a cat. He can't open
He
bags.
can reach once.
Yeah, but he can't open
I
bags.
don't know what he can do yet.
I do know what he can do. I see him every day.
Barely.
Still see
You're a
him.
deadbeat cat father.
Good evening. I believe we're going to be working together. Dr. Reed.
The one on the phone took me out though. Talking about some just because I won't eat your ass. Oh,
Such an honor, sir.
why she on the phone though?
Thank you. And you are?
You got a
I am
bump on
Thoreau
your.
Strickland. Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Found it. Really? That's what you say?
What do you think?
I mean, that's it was in my face.
To modern medical methods. It's a shame you so
That's what you get.
about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true. With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together? I believe that if Dr. ACKROYD had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use. So you believe it's just a question of jealousy? Dr. ACKROYD is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Wait, what? That's
Huh? Well, that's wicked. Follow the 8 of spades.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself? I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Ooh. Another phase? Let's go. What? What? That's bananas. Whose is that? That's great. Oh.
Justice Kilbride's integrity.
What made you choose to be a doctor? I'm ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Vote yes to retain Justice Tom Kilbride for integrity, independence, and fairness in our courts.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the pendant?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Never forget meeting Chris Ramsey. Who's out here? Oh, I asked him to name any card. I remember this. He's like 4 clubs. I'm like, turn it over. Boom. Imagine seeing this in a public restroom. What's this your card? It's actually a good gag. As long as you don't waste any, I think people will forgive you. But if you waste any, I think you're done. I think it's clever. I know what he's doing. The sound kind of gave it away, but I think it's great. This is how normal people react to magic. Oh, tricks wizard. Oh, well. Is that here? Just take any card.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. I'm not smiling now.
Oh!
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research. Yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed.
Whoa! I didn't know you
If
didn't
you
see
went
at all.
personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to
Whoa!
refuse the
I
products.
didn't know you
I
didn't see
see.
coming at all.
Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
What is that? Coffee cup. Nice. Wrong answer, Roman. That's cool. Yeah. A lot of spitting going on. It's in reverse. These things, they're all over. I'm amazing. Sounds weird. Wow. Labyrinth. This is like a puzzle. Cool. I mean, that's what I feel like when I make puzzles anyways. Wow. Labyrinth. It's just like a puzzle. Cool. I mean, that's what I feel like when I make puzzles anyways.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him?
No way.
Or to
Change
prove
it
your
back?
point?
Come on.
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr.
Oh.
Wade. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Oh, the cat. What was that sound? Whoa. I think he forgot to turn the sound off. It's so clean. Wow, that's. But the sound. Can you play it again? Okay, where does it go? Where does it go? It's on a reel for sure. In his jacket? I'm guessing. I don't think so, man. No, I saw no jacket movement. I don't know. The sound's throwing me off. If there was no sound, I'd be doubly fooled. My puzzle experience.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality.
We were just
You
talking
must
about this
know
at
that a good
breakfast.
surgeon
Can you show the picture of like the dope sweater?
That does not excuse Dr. ACKROYD's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires,
I
hopes,
like
and
that they're
fears.
incorporating puzzle
It's a biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
That's cool. Yeah, so what did he take? That trick confuses me, man. A little bit. It confuses. Oh! That was a nice little touch to it. Wow. Yeah. I've not seen that one, though. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the. No, this is different.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
My first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick
right.
lied to us
Handling
about the
of it.
real origin of his
Wow.
injury.
Very nice. Digital
First claimed
hand.
it was an
Digital
accident.
hand.
But why would he hide such crucial information?
That's pretty dope.
Because he is a proud father,
I like it.
ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Honor, we look like we're delivery guys. Working for FedEx, dude. We gotta actually pack a bunch of orders after this when the boss gets here. So. Wow. One innocent curly Q. What? Did he start with it's a curly Q? Wow. Nice, dude. Oh, mask magic? Oh, incorporating. Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. It's like a little bit of a paddle trick. Yeah, paddle trick? Oh, that's cool. Luber's life.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Ooh. No. Wait, what? Oh. No.
Time to talk to you two.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help you, sir?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Morton Goswick.
That's a good point.
Could you change?
By the way, if you guys want to pick up some merch, first on shop.
I've heard much of your
I
talents
was
as a
forced to wear
physician.
this. So what? Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Put it on the deck. Clocks. Yeah. Oh, what? Looking like a TNR. There. Looking like a little bit of a TNR. Okay. It's like Stone. It's like the swap. It's like a David Stone tool. David swap. Okay, here's that. Oh, cool. Chris Ramsey trying to figure out a puzzle on my stream. Me in the chat trying to tell me. That's pretty good. I'm gonna let you finish. I wish. 3 rules. No wishing for death, no falling in
Can you
love,
tell
no
me
bringing
about
back death.
yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say.
Correctly.
Just Take care of my MILTON and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures.
I'm gonna let you finish. I wish. 3 rules. No wishing for death, no falling in love, no bringing back dead people. I wish pieces would moan when they fit correctly. That's hilarious. There are 4 rules.
Are you really?
Hey, Alex Boyer. Hey!
Most of the patients here are of a more humble...
Hilarious, I love that.
Yes. Thanks to my husband.
Please let it be just that.
I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Oh, we do it on time. Is that it? Love That's my favorite. I think we end on that. That's my favorite. Wow, what a great note to end on.
What do you think of your reception here?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Psych that guy out. That's great.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude. He stared. And that nurse was walking and seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Whenever you want, you can actually make them cut. It's pretty easy though when there's a hole.
Right.
Watch the little hole though. If you actually reach up to it, you can pluck it off.
What? What? Okay, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. Who saw that coming? I didn't see that coming. 3 clubs? Nice. That's the split from Adam Wilbur, I believe he released that. It's very cool, very magical. I still have no idea how that works. That's really nice. I feel like you should have muted that sound. That's very clean. That is pretty. Ew. That's a nice little square up there. That's very nice. Yeah, we got 3 clubs. 4 3 clubs in the Ace Hour.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Oh. Oh, wow.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick.
Really good. Yep.
Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr.
That's
Wood.
cool, man. That kid probably
But
won
I'm
that.
aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Ah, there you go. That's actually really sick. Dude, so many people share this. I've gotten this probably like 400 times in my inbox. Should have a look at it. You know, David Copperfield has something similar in his warehouse. He's got like 2 of them, where he stores like some of his rare items. He has one of the people working for him like go through this here. I'm not sure if it's original. I asked him. I think he said it was a replica, but he's not sure. Similar vibes though. I wonder how hard this thing would be to solve in person, because I'm not sure if those knobs turn. I'm not sure if the other knobs do anything. So it's like Boom, the Bertram change. Let's go. And the snap change. That's well done. Oh, that's cool. One of those, ear things. Right? For distance. Ah, clever. Possible you have it without knowing it. It looks so good, doesn't it? Like, just for such a simple gimmick. Presentation is everything. Okay, so we got the ace of clubs on top, the king of spades. King of spades going in the middle. And we have the ace of clubs here. Where is that? Wait, which one's which now? Very nice, but again, I get so easily confused with these things. Alright, I dig that.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my...
Goodbye. Good evening. Really, could you... How sick? I'll... Good evening. How sick? I'm sure... I see.
Yes.
How sick? Why did your mother... HAMPTON? Is your mother... Admit, all right. You can... I see.
Yes.
Tell me. I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me. Thelma HOWCROFT said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir. So it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation.
BRB.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Dad. Whoa! Hey, Dad. You at work tomorrow, Dad? Do you work tomorrow, then?
Yeah.
What time do you get off?
I work 5 to midnight tomorrow.
Ooh, so you're tired. But
Why?
you'll be home for a little bit in the morning, I guess. So that way we can play around for a little bit.
Oh, you're hopping off over here?
No, I'm talking about like tomorrow when I get home or whatever, I can play around for a little bit. Oh, baby. Holy shit, you're sweating. Is that hot? Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Can I get an invite?
No, I'm not gonna invite you.
Fuck, at least get an invite. Invite to.
Show you on there.
Oh, you're probably fine, too. weekend going to party and take back there, so.
This little shit that we hear fucking. Whoever hops on, we can fucking answer all the TV.
I'm thinking of going to recess. Because you know I'm an assassin. You still playing?